operating from the gun. Welch. Looking right sideline. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 1st and 10, Welch. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Jones has it, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Room here to run. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Watch time. Tight end right. Set. Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
For that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Following the fumble recovery, Welch. And he will find his man on the outside. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on 1st down. Welch. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw on 2nd down. Welch over the middle, complete. That's Walker. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. play fake. Welch. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be taken at the 10. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Eluding the pressure right. Coleman has it here right side. That one goes for 24 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Welch over the middle. He finds Henderson, complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll run with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. 2nd and goal. There's still a decent chunk of yardage here. They're on the 8. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game. Operating from the gun, Welch, and he's got it. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. Cook. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. Cook turned away on 4th and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He'll look to throw. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. This is Coleman, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So 2nd and 10 here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Atlanta, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.